Hello everyone, welcome to Riga, Latvia, the final day of competition here on the second week of the Junior Grand Prix. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty, and our last event has sport, it has art, and it has entertainment. It's the free dance, Mark.
Yes, and after the rhythm dance, the French team of Daniel Moadin and Theo Bijot lead the field. Unsurprising, given that this is a team that were 5th at the Junior World Championships earlier this year. I expect them to win, but there are lots of teams underneath them that are newer to their partnership, newer to international competition, but we can be guaranteed, as is always the case in the ice dance event, to be entertained with a whole host of different interpretations, and I'm looking forward to it.
So here we go, the final event here in week number 2. It's a free dance, and it begins right now. Welcome everyone to Riga in the final event as we fly over the train tracks, the building that hosts many Junior Grand Prix. I'm Ted Barton along with Mark Hanratty for the final event. I know, Mark, you're flying back home tomorrow. I'm on the way to Bangkok for week number 3 as we continue down this road of pretty exciting skating so far on the Junior Grand Prix.
Yeah, and we've just seen some phenomenal skating in the men's event, and some, again, 2 days of great skating, and it's not quite sure whether or not it feels like it's speeding along. We've got 2 events almost concluded as we look at the judges who will assess the elements of the free dance for the junior teams, and 17 teams we have to enjoy.
Yeah, and we talked about, we're always on a high after the last 2 groups of the categories, of course, of the women and the men's and the pairs and the dance. But we know there's a wider group there. So the first couple groups in there don't have the same skills, but we're just as excited as a personal achievement or a personal goal. So, but having said that, the final 2 groups, particularly the last group in men's and women's, really, we watch a lot of skating. And when it pushes us and motivates us and excites us to that level, you're watching something special.
And having Choi from Korea just raised the roof effectively. Now the turn of the dancers to see how they can inspire us all. And this will be so much about the amount of flow and glide, as is always the case. Try to assess how much ice coverage is amassed from each of the athletes as they work through their 3.5-minute free dance.
Now, I'm assuming that we do not have any questions or comments or anything in here. We're just cleaning the table, if you will, for the conclusion of this week.
Yeah, keep your eyes peeled on the ISU social media. If there's a chat box that goes on the story post, then you're offered the chance to ask a question into the ISU. Don't think that has happened today, but you're welcome to contact us if you wish. But equally, Ted, I'm sure you have a million questions of me that you could pose, perhaps.
Why did you change from singles to dance?
A great question. Well done, bravo. Because that question...
Well, I did ask that about 5 years ago, but okay.
It's a question that is specific to so many of the skaters. So I suggest, dependent upon the geography of the skater, that most figure skaters, competitive figure skaters, will start as free skaters in the single skating category. So for me, I started the sport because I saw ice dance on TV, but geographically that wasn't taught in the rink that I went to. So I did single skating very happily, and then I switched disciplines because for a couple of reasons, because I didn't have quadruple jumps or triple axel. So I realized that I couldn't get to the World Championships that I so desired to go to in that discipline realistically, and I was more suited to ice dance. I think the transition from singles to dance was one that is done effectively by many with a similar philosophy. And we've just seen actually, many skaters at the world stage. We've just seen Emilia Zingas and Vadim Kolesnik. Emilia made the switch from singles to dance, notably given that she competed in a singles at Worlds. And we spoke earlier today, and you'll be able to catch up on this interview at some point during the Junior Grand Prix with Julia Tarkia and Matthias Verslus. And fascinatingly, they competed also at Europeans and Worlds, and then they too made the switch. And it's a very common reality that skaters will make that transition.
Well, and actually, people tried to get me to go into dance.
Oh, did?
Yeah, well, I was skating around, and they probably said, that poor boy, he can't land anything. Let's put him in dance. And so they made me, partner and learn to take my test. So they did. Hey, the guy's got pants on. Let's go. We need partners, right? So, so I did dance, and I don't know why in my own mind. Then I had to dance with my mother.
Oh, my goodness.
During the adult sessions, and I'm going, and I was smaller, and so you're holding her arm, and her arm was right underneath my chin. But I think she enjoyed it.
I bet she loved it, and that's the kind of thing.
Or maybe she was embarrassed. I don't know.
Maybe
one or the other.
I think I would love to skate with my mom, but I don't know if when I was a teenager, if that would have been something I would have loved to do.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, I went on to singles, and so did you. That's the story. Oh no, you went on to dance. Sorry, from singles, right? There you go.
And you'll see now that as we watch through the 17 performances in the free dance, that there are some elements that really lend themselves to skaters who have a comfort from free skating. So there will be a dance spin. And I also, rightly or wrongly, I feel confident that the twizzle element that will be performed by the ice dancers is generally more comfortable for skaters that have done triple jumping, because often you'll use twizzles as an exercise to help you en route to your jumping passes.
And let's remember, a number of these teams that we'll see in the first couple groups, haven't had a lot of time together, like not numerous years. And so you're going to see them trying to remember the steps exactly and doing them as well as they can. And, being aware of where your partner is. If you're in a single skater, you've never had to worry about that. So there's a lot going on in your brain as you're beginning the discipline of ice dance. So that and the skating skills may not be as strong in these first couple groups, but this is part of the development model, and they will certainly get better as time goes on.
And I think, the last closing seconds of this warm-up, important for me to just repeat something that I spotted earlier today upon our interview with Piper Gillis, that I've seen skaters that have been the second to last at a Junior Grand Prix that have gone on to become successful Olympians. So very much confirming the belief and rationale that this is a developmental stage and an opportunity for which growth can be used as a springboard towards exciting stuff ahead.
Absolutely. Well, our first team represent Ukraine. Veronika Kruchkova and Denis Fedyakin, 16 and 17 years of age. It's the first Junior Grand Prix event.
And this, a new partnership. Dennis previously did the Winter Youth Olympics in 2024. Now teaming up with Veronika, bronze medalist from the Ukrainian Junior Championships. opening the free dance section of the competition, Veronika Krushkova and Denis Fejikin. And we're just getting Ted to listen into the technical panel, because the opening element for Veronika and Denis came in with no value, and so interesting to see the reaction of that.
I think I was listening to the technical panel, and I think it stopped to travel across the ice, you know, or it was very slowly, because I thought about that at the beginning, but then, oh, I don't know anything about dance, so that's fine, right? But no, it was correct.
So the no value on that rotational lift, so that cuts short by about 5.5 points potentially from what they were hoping for. But otherwise, for Veronika and Denis, the same as I felt from the rhythm dance, there's obviously a lot of effort and attention and energy going in, not just the costuming, but the detailing, opening and closing the program with some awareness of the arm line as they attempt to really create concept at the start of their
And
program.
here's that lift. We'll see if he's going across the ice here. Now it starts to slow down on one spot, kind of a little bit, you know, it's, yeah, so, Anyways, it was called no level because it stopped. There you go.
And here we see the team working through the sequential twizzles and a little far apart from each other, but good synchronicity there through the second. And then their third twizzle to up the level. The Group C features, we see them now working through the hold. So there's an open Killian hold. The teams have to showcase different types of dance hold within their step sequence. And there's a foxtrot hold variation. And then it's a semblance of waltz hold. Different dance holds that are a necessity as part of the criteria for the step sequence. And here the dance spin, another one of the mandatory required elements, and there the sit spin features that they're working through, and then the back spin for Veronika.
And just further on that, you know, I'm pretty sure that's what I heard, but there was a lot of noise. I heard your voice, I heard their voices, so I want to say, but, you know, that looks like what it would have been. We'll have to verify that after, but certainly has no value, so.
And that's what Veronika and Denis will be able to ask for from the controller beyond the event. There's protocols and procedures for the athletes to be able to, and the coaches specifically, to be able to get that feedback, so that then for the rest of the season, Veronika and Denis can push forward with more knowledge to amass higher scores. But Veronika and Denis were so mature and stoic in how they explained that they work through their training when they have so many challenges that affect their ability to train. It's not always a guarantee that this team will be able to stick to a regular schedule of training time. Power outages affecting their abilities to get regular ice time. So nothing but respect and admiration for the way they and their coach Svetlana have been able to prepare for the event. Good on them.
Yeah. Waiting for the score. There's 8 elements, and there were 4 reviews. Those have now been cleared up. And we should hear those scores any moment.
Again, it's always going to be the case, I feel like a broken record, but the more that they can develop their skating skills, the longer their strokes, the more these scores will escalate.
That's an important broken record, because it does apply to a lot of early development teams. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Veronika and Denis.
Oh, they've had to wait a while, haven't they?
They have. 4 of the elements were a little minus GOE on them. Let's take a look. Here it is. The free dance scores is 48.57. That, of course, puts them obviously in first place, because they are the first team out, with a 81.08. And they're going to look at that and go, what is that score? Why is it that score? They'll take a look at the report card and see that they had no value on that rotational lift, and then they will process why that happened.
And now we move to the first of 3 brother and sister teams. Warunia Katarina and Paibun Herman Sallenbach, skating to one of the most popular pieces of music, I believe, this season. Yo Soy Maria for the German team.
Buenos Aires, de Buenos Aires, María, no ven quién soy yo. Pronto muy bien lo sabrán las hembras que me envidiarán. Y cada macho a mis pies como un ratón en mi trampa de caer. Yo soy María de Buenos Aires, soy la más bruja cantando y amando también. Si el bandoneón me provoca, tiarratata, le muerdo fuerte la boca, tiarratata, con 10 espasmos en flor que yo tengo en mi ser. Y canto un tango que nadie jamás cantó, y sueño un sueño que nadie jamás soñó, porque el mañana es hoy, con el ayer después. Yo soy María de Buenos Aires, María, yo soy mi ciudad. María tango, María del arrabal, María noche, María pasión fatal, María del amor de Buenos Aires, soy yo.
Waronia and Paibon Salenbausch representing Germany, and a team that had so many fun nuances and some good transitional content, really utilizing their height to strength ratio and some perfectly on point stylization with the ganchos and the various kicks and flicks throughout the tango. A team that, as we discussed in warm-up, have, I'm sure, the potential to go into great things, and united by being brother and sister. So you have more faith in brother-sister pairing sticking together perhaps than some of the other partnerships. And for me, Waronia looked more comfortable in this than in the rhythm dance, that partly because that's perhaps more experienced now with more days in the rhythm, in the Junior Grand Prix environment. You can see working hard to try to keep stylization between the first and the second, just a little far apart as well, and slightly out of sync, so difficult to maintain good creative execution there. Working through a rocker, right back inside counter as part of the 1 foot turns, doing what you'll see the seniors doing to some extent within the 1 foot turns this year with the twizzle in the midst of the 4. This was good.
Yeah, really nice.
Similar, but not that positioning before. Combination of curve lift into a rotational lift. This one of their 2 choreographic elements, choreographic.
And you know, this music demands such quick and snappy and staccato type of movement, and they had the movement, maybe not as sharp and as crisp as they want to have it, or will have it a little bit later in the season.
And actually, the German senior team, Benji and Steffi, the team that went for the Olympic Games from Germany, they used brilliant tango, I think, last season. So perhaps inspired by
could be
by them, as Coach Maria Timanovskaya Chaika, responsible for the choreography as well, joins them. I enjoyed the choreography. Good job.
No, I think choreography is great. I mean, their performance of it, a little crisper, it'll be nice.
For sure.
Better, yeah.
I mean, the absolute definition of a team under development, but the absolute epitome of also a team with all of the ideal attributes.
Building blocks. They have the building blocks, yeah. Just needs the time, the mileage, experience.
And
every one of them.
Actually, you should follow these guys. If you check them out online, as we see the technical panel working through their assessment of the... Still a bit of work for them to do. This team, there are images on Instagram of the Stellenbosch siblings of them skating together from very early on. And that's the case, actually, for the American team that we'll see shortly, too. And it's... I find it incredibly endearing to see, the team development. And what's also very endearing right now is to see a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old brother and sister chatting so amenably in the kiss and cry as Ted listens into the tech panel just to get further insight into the assessment of what has taken place of the 7 elements in the free dance. So the junior ice dancers have to perform synchronized twizzle element, the 1-foot turns element is a dance spin, step sequence and hold, and either 2 short lifts or 1 combination lift and 2 choreographic elements. So all of the teams have some parameters with which to work, and each providing and delivering their own stamp on it.
Well, that was interesting. You can see the combination lift went from a curve level 3 to curve level 4.
Oh, happy days.
And they wanted to make sure they got the number of rotations and that the lift position of the woman was difficult, and they verified that. And they looked at it a couple times, so that was a really good process. Long, but it was a really good process.
It's always nice when the upgrade in the element.
Yeah, exactly. Let's take a look at the score. 61.61. That is first in the free dance. Total competition scored a 99.99, and they take over the lead at the early stages of this competition. Great process by the technical panel. Very thorough. It takes a bit of time with a lot of detail in ice dance. Our next team represents Spain. Colada, Garcia, Barranco, and Alexander Ostrovsky, 15 and 19 years old, new to the Junior Grand Prix Series this season.
And indeed new to the discipline as well, specifically for Carlota. And together just a matter of months, embracing every aspect of this, their Junior Grand Prix debut.
Our games of make-believe are at an end. Past no thought of if or when. No use resisting. Abandon thought and let the dream descend. Beyond the point of no return.
Past the point of no return. No going back now. I should play us now. At last we go.
Spanish team of Carlota Garcia Barranco and Alexandra Ostrovsky finish their first Junior Grand Prix, and I believe it could be their first competition, certainly together for the team, and potentially ever as an ice dancer for Carlota. They teamed up 4 months ago, and whilst that in itself was so admirable, it's also just so admirable at what their team of coaches are doing. Sara Hurtado, Zenio Monco, and Kirill Kaliavin. And Sara flying the flag as a competitive ice dancer for Spain, and really the inaugural, one of the inaugural Spanish main player teams, but now electing to take Spanish ice dance through their SK Academy forward. As we look through this the 1 foot turn, so this twizzle within the 4 turns can be a positive feature for grade of execution. It'll also be seen a little bit more in the seniors next season. And there's the straight line lift. I thought that she'd gone too far. There was great level of strength displayed on that, the straight line lift, as they elect, like the other teams, to do a combination. There's a straight line lift and then this rotational lift, and their difficult exit as part of their level feature. Good proximity to one another, constantly moving arms as the group feature. And you'll notice that there are differences between the twizzles in the rhythm dance and the free dance, and different criteria, and indeed the teams have to showcase that using some different features between their 2 programs. That was nice. Choctaw back to back. And they're working through their difficult turns within the diagonal step sequence. One of the required elements is step sequence. And relatively simple choreography within the context of the holds there, but that's appropriate for the team at this stage.
Which I think was very smart, because I thought the team did a nice smooth job because they didn't try to overdo it, complicate it, at least at the stage of the season, right?
Yeah.
It may get more difficult later down.
Especially for Carlota, who hasn't got used to skating with someone, so shout out to them. And if the parents are watching, I think you're in such good hands there with people supporting you.
67.63, that is first in the free dance for Carlota and Alexander, with a total competition score 113.54 as they take over the lead, still pretty early on in the competition. They're dancing in the kiss and cry still. And there is our next team representing Great Britain, 17-year-old Annabelle Mann, 18-year-old Jack Hammond. This is their second Junior Grand Prix season, Mark.
And Annabelle and Jack have been in and around the venue supporting others. They've been part of the cheer squad for so many other athletes. Now time to cheer for them as they perform to La La Land.
The sun is nearly gone. The lights are turning on. A silver shine that stretches to the sea. Some other girl and guy would love this swirling sky, but there's only you and I. What a waste of a lovely night. to stay.
Great Britain's Annabelle Mann and Jack Hammond blowing kisses to those that have supported them in return for the support that they have offered to others. Annabelle studying business, history and philosophy, and Jack's just finished his college courses en route to becoming a personal trainer. And I think that the construction and the composition of the program was just great. The La La Land soundtrack just offers such a wonderful light and shade for the choreography, and it's been brilliantly done by their coach and choreographer Lloyd Jones. Each of the elements perfectly positioned at a phrase change.
They have the look to fit these two characters. They do. And then, of course, the danceability as well. So it's quite charming.
Yeah, charming, indeed. Charming. You could sense without the music on, the storytelling. This was great, the difficult entry into the opening rotational lift. Really good examples of the features there. Electing to reserve the twizzle as the last of the 4 turns in their 1 foot turns element. And as was always going to be the case for the teams in the earlier stage, you can just see the ice coverage will be the focus for Annabelle and Jack now moving forwards. They won the British Championship qualifier event a couple of weeks ago. So that facilitated them securing a second Junior Grand Prix in Batumi in Georgia. So they'll take from this feedback from the panel. And now the likes of that back crossover just accelerating and covering more ice to boost the scores from the judges. But I wouldn't suggest there need to be any choreographic changes because it's, as you say, a charming routine.
It really is. You know, you can improve the speed and the depth of edge and those types of things, but I wouldn't. I mean,
no.
Everything's a good layout.
Alan Abretti joining them in the kiss and cry. He just shouting out to everybody at home, cheering. It's always fun to think of all the people that are screaming in delight, cheering at the screens.
In the pubs in England.
Oh, in the pubs. Yeah, I'm sure Annabelle and Jack would love it if we can elevate them and the sport there so that the pubs in England put the ice dance on, not the football.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think it's happening right now yet, but maybe.
I think Tour Ondine made that happen, didn't they?
They did. We need to resurrect that level of popularity.
Yeah,
Come on, Annabelle and Jack. You, Lila Lewis, and all the other British teams, let's make it so.
Change that pub channel. Start a campaign.
So that's 61.5 in Varese when they competed at the Junior Grand Prix a year ago.
And this should be a better score, certainly a year's worth of work and an experience with each other. And I think we'll probably see that score elevated here with this free dance. It's a 69.53, tip of the head. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not too bad. Let's take a look. 117.78 total competition score, and that puts them for the moment into first place. They look happy with the performance and very happy with the numbers as well. And here, taking to the ice, group number 2 of 4 in the free dance. There's 4 teams on the ice.
Just 2.5 points separate the front runners, Annabelle and Jack, after the rhythm dance, with the results of and scores of the teams on the ice currently from their rhythm dance performance yesterday
Okay, so I'm digging up more questions.
Please do.
Okay, because you're out.
Because I ain't got nobody helping me.
Your gas tank is totally empty on this. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about parents and, of skaters, ice dancers. It could be ice dancers as well, whatever it is. High performance sport. Because you're a dad, and you know how much you love your kids, and you go to and you go to your son's hockey game, and you watch the progress, and you watch how much he loves it, and you watch how he comes back, and then you have to measure what you say, what you don't say, and let him discover and become, his own person, even if he's going down the wrong road a little bit, but you're not sure. That it's complicated for the parents, and when they take to the ice on the hockey or on the ice here in figure skating, your heart is pounding. Some can't even watch it.
Yeah.
So, I just shout out to the parents because we know what they go through. It's how do you best help them? You simply can love them.
Yeah, it's so true. And as we watch these teams now, of course, there will be their parents either standing at the side of the ice right now as their coach or listening in. And it's interesting. We should do kind of a case study. I know that when I think about the world champions in 2025, three-time world champions Chalk and Bates, I know that I've seen examples of their parents at many of the events watching. And then there are others that, for me as an example, my parents never attended practice. My parents never attended or rarely attended
And why do you
competitions.
Why do you think that was?
I think that their belief is that it's my life and it's my choices, and that if ultimately it was down to me what I do and how I take it. And retrospectively, I'm incredibly grateful as we see some amazing changes of hold on that lift. I'm incredibly grateful because it's driven me to a mindfulness that I am the autonomous controller of my life. And sometimes we see in our sport and not just ice dance or ice skating, I have very often seen some really troublesome examples of parents that through their desire for the success of their child, it has manifested in behavior that I don't think they in turn would look back on and be proud of. But parents only ever want to do the best for their children, and so it's very challenging for the parents to know, exactly as you're saying. The parents watching this now, what is the best? There is no definitive rule book for the best way to parent.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you'll hear hockey players in North America, those kids that make the NHL or other, say, I couldn't have done it without my parents. They helped me see what I had to do, and they help encourage me. That might have been interpreted the word into push. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know. So sometimes, but my point was, it's not about what they're doing for their athlete, but also the pain that they must go through when they see a tough day for their skater or for their hockey player, for whatever, and what to say. The choice, not unlike a coach. When a coach is standing beside the boards and see a really difficult day, and you want to help them through that, what are the words that I'm going to pick, and what is the tone that I will dress that up as? It's complicated business, but it's life.
And one of the things that I think has perhaps made me feel comfortable as a parent, but not necessarily as a coach, one of the challenges for the coaches is that they're being paid. Often the parents are sacrificing huge amounts of money in their own lifestyle standards to facilitate their skater competing as an ice dancer or as a single skater. It's an expensive business. And therefore the coaches recognize that if you're paid money, you have to return that, often with a competitive result. However, as a parent or as a human for me now, and even to some of the judges, I know that they seem not to recognize that we're defined more as humans than we are as successful skaters. And we spoke to Minerva Fabian Haza, and that interview will be released later on in the series, and she has spoken vocally about recognizing that even now as a world champion of one of the disciplines of her sport, she knows she's more valuable as a human than she is as a skater.
Yeah, that's true. But, it's like you can go back in life and say, well, when I was 15, I should have known that. Well, you can't. You got to live it, right? Yeah. So it's just discovery. Yeah. But the reason I wanted to bring that up about the parents is I empathize with the agony and the stress and the high heart rate and the blood pounding through your heart and your body when you watch your kids skate, because there's just nothing like the love of your child. And you want the best. And you want them to come off the ice happy, because your life will be easier if they are. Right?
Yeah.
That's the way it is, right?
You want an easy life, but...
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways. So, I did a good job filling that.
Yes, you did indeed. Well done, you.
All right.
So, to all the parents watching right now, Ted's got your back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's unsung heroes in their children's journey. Our first team represents the United States of America. 13-year-old Rylan Luukkonen and 14-year-old Patrick O'Brien.
And Rylan and Patrick, the youngest team in the competition, and they skating to Titanic. And what perfect costuming for the job in hand.
So you want to go to a real party?
America's Rylan Luukkonen and Patrick O'Brien share a big hug. And they, gobsmackingly, have already had a decade of life spent together. And before we discuss that wonderful, glorious friendship that they share, got a shout out to the choreo slide at the end of that program. That was brilliant. And Caitlin Weaver, their choreographer, explaining that the concept is of them as kids on the Titanic, given their age, as we look back at the performance. And it's so significant, Ted, that we were just talking about the parenting of an elite competitive ice dance team as we look at their stationary lift to open the program. And Rylan's mom and dad are her coaches, of course, Chris and Fraser Luukkonen and Igor Luukkonen. And Rylan sat them down and asked why her parents weren't coaching her full-time like they did with the other teams that they coach. And I think that was Kristen's point as we were chatting to her earlier, is that she can't hold the kid back because Rylan just wants to skate so much, and it's all being fueled by her rather than propelled by the parents. In fact, I dare say almost the opposite would be desired by the parents, but there's a skater on the ice in front of us now that just loves it.
Yeah.
Some fun, nuanced movement. And I think great to see Caitlin working on choreography of ice dance team, where she's developed such a great reputation as being a choreographer for the single skaters, but great to see her input on these young skaters here too in the ice dance category. Change of pose in the curve lift. And you can see, well done, good catch.
Yeah, that was really nice.
There's a very Titanic moment.
I don't know if the catch is here, but she's really excited, so she bounces passively going. That's awesome.
Also,
good boy, good boy.
Well done, Kristen Fraser Luukkonen, for managing, and Igor, who's at home, and also Kristen, who's had to be here without her luggage. Her luggage hasn't arrived as well.
And the point is, the kids sat the parents down rather than the parents sat the kids down. Mom, Dad, sit down. And we got to talk. That was good. That's independence.
Oh, there's the parents' Pre-Gore Studio. That's the Instagram handle. If anybody wants to go and check it out.
Nice.
Good advertising from the daughter. Well done.
Well done. Yeah, she's in control of that family.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, she's the business manager here.
The 13-year-old Rylan's keeping them all. And I do think that Rylan and I think her brother are going with the parents to Disneyland next week.
You're right. She talked about that. Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
I don't know what Patrick's doing.
It's the parents ask the kids, "Can we go to Disneyland?"
We'll coach you if you let us go to Disneyland.
Yeah. The free dance scores for Rylan and Patrick from the United States, 73.56. That is first in the free dance so far with a total competition score of 122.37 as they take the lead. They look pretty happy with that.
She's fun.
Mom wanted the high five. Okay. All right. That is great. That's a lot of fun. Our next team represents Finland. 16-year-old Iris Lahti and 20-year-old Oskari Lidapura. Second Junior Grand Prix season, and their coach and choreographed by Neil Brown.
And Pearl Harbor, the music choice for Iris and Oskari, and this has been a long time wish of Oskari to skate to this music. Finland's Iris Lahti and Oskari Lidenpoja. And this team, perhaps on the back of following the Americans, who are much their junior in age, looking so strong, particularly at the start of the program, and the 1 foot turns to open really showcase lots of ice coverage. And I love the choreographic lift at the conclusion of the Pearl Harbor free dance. I was concerned during their combo lift.
Yeah.
Whew.
That spread eagle that he was in sort of shifted from a curve around the corner straight to the board a little bit, got a little bit tight.
It would be interesting to listen into the review perhaps of what was happening from the tech panel, because that is under review, that element. There the typical entry into the dance spin. And there the middle feature, so we're seeing that increasingly now. You'll start to become more accustomed to seeing a lift of sorts between the dance spin. Just need to work on the stretch and the range for that camel.
And here is that. Right there, he goes straight towards the board, and he's got to be careful keeping away.
You could see, though, the consideration of safety.
Yeah.
He needs to make sure his hands are positioned in a certain place to justify the level, but you could see Oskari just making sure that his hands were protecting his partner as we see this. Amazing. It's akin to Diana Davis and Gleb Schmalk and the Georgian team.
And Kratz and Bourne were like the first team basically to do this hydrogliding back in the 90s.
Shailene Bourne, still queen of the ice, I think. Yep. And Victor Kratz, now talking of hockey, he's
incredible schools that he's got, because he's one of the best skaters I've ever seen. He works with some NHL players as well as do many other figure skating coaches.
And there, Neil Brown joining them. Neil, very, very busy man. He is resolutely committed to the progression of the sport of ice dance.
Isn't he building some sort of app too, like in his spare time?
I was joking earlier saying, oh, you're getting a relative holiday whilst you're here comparative to your coaching life, but he was saying he's working hard on an app, and we'll provide more details of that when we have them, but certainly a man who is just so dedicated to the discipline of ice dance.
Busy, busy, busy. But you know what? For some people, that's great joy. That was for me. I was like that in my whole life. Yeah, not so much anymore. Well, except for on the Junior Grand Prix.
Yeah, you're on it. You're on it. And as I mentioned in the rhythm dance, this team desperately keen to try and secure a place at the Junior World Championships and take their Junior Grand Prix participation to that next level.
And what's the qualifying score here? Technical score for that? I think it's 68, is it? 60, is that right?
See, now, the problem is I corroborate that, but I'm panicking now because you're getting me on the... I will tell you now.
I've got it on my phone somewhere, but you're faster with your thumbs. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Iris and Oskari. And there it is, 71.94. That is second in the free dance with the total competition score of 121.60, as they will be in second place at this stage of the competition.
And just to confirm, the tech minimum scores for Junior Worlds 2027 are 71 points over the RD and FD.
Okay, there you go. Our next team represents Italy. Both are 18 years old. Martina Lavazza and Rafael Raymond Munier. And they are the 4th ranked junior team in Italy, coached by Walter Rizzo, and here with Brunhilde Bianchi.
And this team just a fraction off a point behind the Armenians in 10th place after the rhythm dance, skating to Je suis malade.
rêve plus, je ne fume plus, je n'ai même plus l'histoire. Je suis seule sans toi, je suis laide sans toi, comme une orpheline dans un dortoir. Je n'ai plus envie de vivre ma vie. Ma vie cesse quand tu pars. Je n'ai plus de vie, même mon lit se transforme en quai de gare. Quand tu t'en vas, je suis malade, complètement malade, comme quand ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade, parfaitement malade. T'arrives, on ne sait jamais quand. Tu pars, on ne sait jamais où. Et ça va faire bientôt 2 ans que tu t'en fous. Cet amour m'a tué près de ma radio, comme un gosse idiot, en écoutant ma propre voix. Je suis malade, complètement malade, comme quand ma mère sortait le soir et qu'elle me laissait seule avec mon désespoir. Je suis malade, c'est ça, je suis malade. Tu m'as privé de tous mes chants, tu m'as vidé de tous mes mots, et j'ai le cœur complètement malade.
Italy's Martina Lavazza and Rafael Raymond Mounier. Such brilliant, powerful, passionate music, and the 18-year-olds embracing it. This team had programmed component scores in the rhythm dance that would have factored in comfortably within the top 10, but it was their technical element score that was what left them asunder comparatively, and now it's important that the technical score is buoyant for them to have any chance of climbing higher into the top 10. The chance to look back now. Oh, that's cool. Opening of the program. And then the dance spin. The dance spin, more inclined to achieve a level 4, is pivotally important though, that when it comes to the 1-foot turns and the step sequence, those are the elements that are less inclined to be in the higher levels of 3s and 4s as we look back at the twizzles. And there's a little bit of a break in rotation, particularly from Rafael here. Little stops in the consistency of the rotation, which can drop the level for the team. Passionate expression from Martina, as is necessary for the music. And this was great phrasing on the difficult entry, the jump into the rotational lift, which was acknowledged by the phrase change in crescendo from Lara Fabian's voice. And as ever the case, just continually fighting to push for longer strokes, more glide, more length, deeper knees, deeper ankles. All the teams know this. It's just physically more demanding, physically more exhausting to do so. But they've got the passion on point.
Yeah, it's interesting because we're going to have a discussion in the warm-up of the group number 3, a little bit about acting and a little bit about partnerships and a little bit about lots of stuff like that. The scores, 76.61 for Martina and Rafael. That is first in the free dance, and a 127.15 will put them overall into first place. One team to come in group number 2. Our next team represent Armenia, Kristina Dobrosurdova and Yaroslav Nochev.
Wonderful to see the support for Kristina and Yaroslav from the Italians. And we look forward to seeing this performance, which in warm-up had some wonderful curve lift combinations. Looking forward to seeing that in the mid part of the program. They will open with choreographic assisted jumps as one of their 2 choices of choreographic elements as they skate to Benjamin Clementine's I Won't Complain.
It's a wonderful life, it's a wonderful life. Traversing tears from the heavens. My heart is a melodrama in fact. Set alight by echoes of pain 24/7. I dream, I smile, I walk, I cry. You might not say that it's a wonderful life and it's a wonderful day, just as yesterday. But I won't complain. Though my good days are far gone, they'll surely come back one more. So I won't complain. No, no. My mind is a mirror, a reflection only known to me. And for those who hate me, the more you hate me, the more you help me. And those who love me, the more you love me, the more you hurt me. And when I go to bed in the night, I see some children in the light, fighting on those shadows behind my mother's back. And when I go to bed in the night, I see some children in the light, fighting on those shadows behind my mother's back. And although I don't understand my dreams, I know somewhere there's hope, there's hope, there's hope somewhere, there's hope. So I dream, I smile, I walk, I cry. I dream, I smile, I walk, I cry. You might not say that it's a wonderful world, and it's a wonderful life, and it's a wonderful day, just as yesterday. But I won't complain. I won't complain. No, no. No, no, I won't complain. No, I won't complain. Though my good days are far gone, they'll surely come back one more. So I won't complain. Though my good
Armenia's Kristina Dobrosurdova and Yaroslav Neshev, a team with senior experience and senior qualities, but still as such a new partnership, working together to continue to push toward, I assume, the desire to compete at Junior World Championships. And I think, obviously I don't know the entire development of the team or the training that they've had, but the likes of the elements that I spotted in warm-up, which were so spectacular in isolation, not able to be delivered with the same positive grade of execution in the context of a free dance move because they're new.
Yeah, that lift was really interesting, but it was awkward.
Yeah, and that then doesn't fulfill the positive features criteria the judges have that I saw in warm-up. Actually, it probably has some of the negative
Let me rephrase that.
Features.
The lift wasn't awkward. The way it was executed today was a little bit awkward.
Yeah, and we can see more glide and comfort earlier in the program with some of the earlier elements. Check the pirouetting on the spot there for Yaroslav. That will be reviewed potentially. But this was that lift.
This is the lift. There it is. A little slow coming over. And the change of position here. And right in here, I think, is pretty slow coming towards the boards. It got a little stuck right there. Interesting lift.
Oh, for sure. And their choice of features, so the teams all have different features they can choose. And even here, as we look through their one-foot turns, they're working so hard to embellish, develop, and showcase more of those positive features. But by risking more, then it, unfortunately, when it's less prepped, it incurs the risk of getting the negative features when it's less smooth and effortless. So my prediction is that for Kristina and Yaroslav, that their score that they achieve here will be easily, vastly improved as the season progresses and they double up their time as a team.
Yeah. I think that's a fairly safe bet.
Yeah. But what one can be grateful for then is that they have material and elements that have difficulty and complexity, which will soon be rewarded with more run-throughs in the training ring.
They just need more mileage. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Kristina and Yaroslav. It is a 72.74. That is third in the free dance with a total competition score of 123.45, and that puts them at the moment, for the moment, into second place. With 10 teams to come after the ice resurfacing. And talking about the ice resurfacing, as we'll take a look at the standings so far, Mark, what video list playback do we have?
Well, it's new stuff. We got new material for you all. If you haven't seen it already in the Rhythm Dance, then make sure you stay tuned to listen to us chatting, perhaps rather overexcitedly from me, with the wonderful Piper Gillis.
Yeah, it's pretty special. We hope you enjoy it. We'll be back after this. Hello, everyone. Well, as promised, Piper Gillies is here in Riga, so it's so exciting, and thank you for sharing your time with us. Now, Mark has a million questions of everyone. So, Mark, knock yourself out. Here we go.
I don't know where to start with a career like yours, Piper. Like, where do we go? I think the thing that I am so compelled to ask about, at the Olympic Winter Games earlier this year, one of my favorite moments of the entire event was not just the great skate that you guys had in the free dance, but also the kiss and cry reaction. It makes me want to cry thinking about it now, so I can only imagine what it was like for you guys. Tell us a little bit about your Olympic experience this year.
Oh boy, I mean, again, I don't know where to start with that. I think the most important thing that I remember was that Paul and I were so present and prepared for that moment. I think other Olympic Games, like, again, you want to overskate things, but we just did exactly what we did at home, and that made it even more special because, like, we just showed up and did it, and it was the most peaceful competition I think I've had in years, which is so strange. I just remember kind of going blank and just being like, this is our moment. Like, I don't know why, but I guess that's why people say that it's an Olympic moment. You're going to remember it, and we did. We were so present. We were so there, and I think that's why the reaction was so, I guess, overcoming, is that, like, we were just so shocked that we just did it, and the weight of the world was just gone, and we just, like, lived in that moment.
You would think that would be your most nerve-wracking moment.
Totally, yeah, but I guess that's why, like, right place, right time, you know, you do the right preparation, you can just let your body skate.
I think it's the kind of performance and post-skate reaction that if anybody wants to feel good, just go on YouTube and check that out.
Yeah.
But we're here obviously at Junior Grand Prix. Now, the big skating geek in me remembers, I don't know if I should remind you of this, but a few years ago, I remember seeing you compete in Sheffield.
Hello, everyone. Well, as promised, Piper Gillies is here in Riga, so it's so exciting, and thank you for sharing your time with us. Now, Mark has a million questions of everyone. So, Mark, knock yourself out. Here we go.
I don't know where to start with a career like yours, Piper. Like, where do we go? I think the thing that I am so compelled to ask about, at the Olympic Winter Games earlier this year, one of my favorite moments of the entire event was not just the great skate that you guys had in the free dance, but also the kiss and cry reaction. It makes me want to cry thinking about it now, so I can only imagine what it was like for you guys. Tell us a little bit about your Olympic experience this year.
Oh boy, I mean, again, I don't know where to start with that. I think the most important thing that I remember was that Paul and I were so present and prepared for that moment. I think other Olympic Games, like, again, you want to overskate things, but we just did exactly what we did at home, and that made it even more special because, like, we just showed up and did it, and it was the most peaceful competition I think I've had in years, which is so strange. I just remember kind of going blank and just being like, this is our moment. Like, I don't know why, but I guess that's why people say that it's an Olympic moment. You're gonna remember it, and we did. We were so present, we were so there, and I think that's why the reaction was so, I guess, overcoming, is that, like, we were just so shocked that we just did it, and the weight of the world was just gone, and we just, like, lived in that moment.
You would think that would be your most nerve-wracking moment.
Totally, yeah, but I guess that's why, like, right place, right time, you know, you do the right preparation, you can just let your body skate.
I think it's the kind of performance and post-skate reaction that if anybody wants to feel good, just go on YouTube and check that out.
Yeah.
But we're here obviously at Junior Grand Prix. Now, the big skating geek in me remembers, I don't know if I should remind you of this, but a few years ago, I remember seeing you compete in Sheffield at the John Curry Junior Grand Prix.
Yep.
I won't give the year. But anyway.
2007.
2007, okay. Even though you're obviously only 21 years old. But tell us a little bit about your junior experience and maybe how that paved the way for the amazing senior career that you had as well.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I loved, again, I skated a Cinderella, so I know exactly, you know, what programs that we did. Yeah, and actually, like, in that event, my partner and I had to switch programs because our folk program wasn't working for us. So that was like the debut of a brand new program. So it's just, that prepares you for so many different parts of your career, having to kind of like change and adapt and explore new things. And I think being here at the junior, it just reminds you of how much you've had to overcome. And again, every time you put yourself out on the ice, you're learning something, you're gaining that experience. So seeing them here, I've met some of the ice dancers here. This is the first event. And I'm so excited just to see how they are prepared and how they can just like live in this moment. Like, well, juniors is a big deal.
Yeah. We can say also to you, Piper, that we've been in the venue for not long, and already some of the junior skaters are getting starry-eyed and peeking out that you're here. So your impact is a huge thing for them.
Thank you. I feel it, but I feel like I've been in their shoes, and I've watched some of my favorite.
Welcome back, everyone, to Riga, Latvia. The final two groups in week number 2 of the Junior Grand Prix, the free dance. Coming up in just a few moments, we have 4 teams on the ice right now. That'll be followed by group number 4 with 5 teams, the final 5, battling it out for the podium and for those points to qualify for the Junior Grand Prix final. Mark? Well, you're reading your phone.
Oh, actually, this further corroboration. I've just had now 2 people explain to me some of the rules. I'm deeply devastated and disappointed in my own lack of awareness of some of the rules and criteria. But it does allow me to repeat some information that I should have known already, that the teams in the free dance are not allowed to repeat the same types of lift that they have done in the rhythm dance, except if it's part of a combo lift, I believe. So thank you to the anonymous information sent to me. Actually, and that's also, as I get a little bit too loose-lipped and vocal at the end of the very long 3 days, that's actually maybe a call to action for, anyway, we call to action for questions to be submitted to the ISU. Maybe indeed people can give us a plea for further information and intel to be shared, not necessarily questions, because I failed today with my lack of awareness as to why a no value element was input. And I apologize deeply
and
to
why
those
was
that
that?
corrected me.
Because it was that lift? Was it that lift, that rotational one that we thought? Because
yes.
No, but I had said that.
Well, then you had assumed it might be because of the lack of continuation across the ice, but then we reviewed it, and I think you were looking at it and thinking
well,
what I was
I
thinking.
said I'm not sure I heard that exactly right because they were moving a little bit. I don't remember. But it was a lot to listen to. And you in one ear and them in another ear.
Yes. Okay. I think I need to put my serious head on now.
That's okay.
Celebrate these 8 remaining teams. Oh, no, we have 9. Oh, gosh, can't even count.
No, we have 9. 4 in the first group and 5 in the second group. I am so happy that you make the loud mistake because I am the owner of mistakes on broadcast. I am totally. You know, you try so hard. And they're long days. Not to make excuses, but they are. And complicated names at times, too. So, you know.
But you can see the familiar sound of the teams calling out to one another to avoid collision. Great amount of ice coverage for the Canadian sibling pairing.
And so we expect to see in the group number 3 a little bit more speed and power and depth of edge, correct?
Oh, indisputably. So at this point in time, one of the hardest things I think to articulate in commentary for ice dance is what constitutes the good skating skill. And so for each of these teams, obviously the team on screen now, Victoria and Andre, are just marking, pacing around the rink. But to create good skating skills, what is ideal and optimal is that the skaters will bend so deep into their knees and ankles and press on their edges to stroke and facilitate long glide without affecting their body control in their top half of their body as well. And that is something that we will see more and more of as we head towards the stronger teams. And that is essentially what has facilitated the success of the world's best. Here we see with every stroke, look to see as the skaters change feet how much length of stroke they have and therefore how much the blade will run across the ice. So back, cover, 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 push, 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 longer, longer glide. And the judges will be really au fait with assessing the skating skills and being able to immediately pinpoint the range that the teams work into. And clear criteria for the ice dancers. You can see the guides for marking it is communication number 2798, and in that you have all the criteria and all the information for those. And interestingly, as we continue to mention throughout the course of the Junior Grand Prix series, the component scores, the marking guides for ice dancers are the same as that for single skaters and pair skaters. So the wording is a desire to see increased flow, power, speed, unison in terms of the ice dancers. That is, of course, different for the ice dancers and the single skaters. You can't have unison with nobody else on the ice.
You got that one.
And the only caveat really with the skating skills and some of the components are when serious errors occur. So if the teams do have any major mistakes, then that can drop down the component scores.
there is the Canadian team dressed in the flag, supporting, and it's good. We used to have competitions between the Americans and the Canadians.
Yeah,
and
we need to ignite that competition again.
Yeah. I think Canada wins this one.
You're firmly in first place for the support team, although perhaps it's that we just don't have the right camera angle to see the others. Maybe the Canadians have spotted how to get the attention.
I think not. Okay, our first team represents Ukraine. Tatiana Bilodanova and Ivan Couture. 15 and 19 years of age. They were both born in Odessa.
And Tatiana had explained to me that she recognizes beautiful performances are always the result of rigorous preparation, mindful of what is necessary for success as they skate to music from Avatar for their free dance. Ukraine's Tatiana Bielodonova and Ivan Couture looking happy with the skate.
You know, one of the things I really appreciate with this team is that, and the music suits it, you know, is they were very precise and careful. Now, careful looks, I don't mean cautious. I don't mean that at all. But they were very precise with their position changes, particularly on the lift. And I thought it was beautiful match to the music because it wasn't too fast. You know how they can whip you up and over your shoulders and around when you're down?
Yes.
They were. It was interesting to watch that transition because you could clearly define the positions, right? So I thought they were really, and the music choice was good. It allowed them to pace this properly for their skill level at this stage.
And a great debut of the program for the team. It's the start of their season, which they hope will be another long season that finds them at the Junior World Championships in Bulgaria. And this team, as we can expect to see at this stage in the competition, having more success on the levels. Level 3 step sequence assigned to Ivan. As we look back at the Twizzles, constantly moving arm movements, that's a feature and a way in which to achieve a higher level within. Here, their pursuit of a higher grade of execution as they increase the difficulty of the transition between the first and the second Twizzle. And there, left back inside Twizzle, the Group C feature. And this part of that diagonal step sequence, so for the level 3 to be achieved, he had to deliver 4 difficult turns. And here, a great curve lift, the first half of their combo. Most of the teams choosing to do a combo.
And this is, look how clean, and that transition was not awkward at all. It was very careful, it was very beautiful, it was not cautious, but it worked with the music.
Conscientious, maybe.
There you go, thank you.
And that ticks the box for smooth and effortless movement, for those positive features that the judges are looking for. As we see choreographic element, a lot going on at this part of the program, the final element. All of the choreographic elements have a 1.1 value that will be added or subtracted to based on the grade of execution. As Maria joins them and Alona.
And they have a 79.81 free dance score. That is first with a total competition total of 130.56 as they take over the lead.
And now we head to the first of 2 back-to-back Canadian performances in this junior free dance. Victoria and Andre Karandiuk, a sibling team who are not shy to state their main goal of becoming Olympians in the future. Skating now to the Mask of Zorro. Victoria and Andre Karandiuk, as you saying off air, Ted, a big improvement made by the team born in Montreal and now training at the Ice Academy in Montreal, and probably contributing to their experiences of training alongside some of the world's very best ice dance teams.
Their agility of their choreography, the agility of the movement, the quickness of it, the sharpness of it is been honed. And you can really feel that. And also the skating skills or the speed across the ice is more. They certainly could do more. But yeah, this was, in my opinion, what do I know? I'm not, not an expert ice dance, but I know skating, and I think this team has really improved.
No, I would completely agree. More speed, more ice coverage, greater flow across the ice, as evidented by the 1-foot turns, which will be the first element. You can see here the amount of development that must have been done. Even the connection between them at the opening of the program will have been polished and refined. See the twizzles that we saw in the warm-up, and as is conventional to expect, that the twizzles that we saw in warm-up had more flow and more effortlessness than in performance, but still, relatively speaking, successfully done. And they, like the other teams, I think we've only seen combination lifts. The teams in the junior dance event can elect to do 2 short lifts or a combination, but I think everybody...
I think once the momentum goes in the first one, why not use that momentum as opposed to have to restart it? I'm not a strategist, but it makes sense.
And it's interesting, actually, that Ethan Peel, American ice dancer, he has created a website, Skating Storage, where you can find the most successful elements and the ones most likely to achieve a good grade of execution. So perhaps the reason and rationale behind all of the combination lifts is just that. And the reason that they are somewhat coachless in the kiss and cries, because rather unfortunately for Benjamin Brisebois, his teams have drawn to skate back-to-back.
Yeah. Well, 75.81 is their personal best on the international scene here in the juniors, and I think they're going to be pretty pleased with this score. And it will, recognize and verify their improvement.
Yes. And interesting to see that their feedback further still as we look deeper into the judges' notes are that their presentation component score is their highest, so the skating skill is still the one that they will continue to have to develop, as is, again, there's me as the broken record talking about those skating skills.
Yeah, there you go. And they're wondering whether what they felt and what they believe has improved will be rewarded with a bigger score. Remember that 75.81, and this is an 82.54. You can see a nod of approval. Victoria and Andre, that is first in the free dance with a 133.39 as they take over the lead. Well done.
Happy people, happy siblings.
And some validation for their improvement. That's good. Our next team also represents Canada. 18-year-old Laurence Briere and 20-year-old Earl Jesse Celestino. This is their first season together. No international competitions on their bio at the moment, except for here.
An unfortunate start to the rhythm dance. Hoping for a clean free dance now as they skate to Wits and Wisdom. Moving through the free dance for Laurence Brière and Earl Jesse Celestino, and such a stark contrast to their rhythm dance performance, but it's a good vehicle for the team, and although they're so new as a partnership, they match very, very well. And I don't know, you'll have to excuse my ignorance, Ted, I'm not sure if they had the same coaches in their former partnerships, but the leg lines and the commitment to the extension of their free foot, so well matched at this early stage.
Yeah. That was much better than the rhythm dance for sure.
And yet, arguably a more difficult, complex interpretation to choose than the piece that they had for the waltz and rhythm. As we look back, amazing start position, showcasing Laurence's flexibility. It's bobbing a wee bit up and down on the free leg extension on the first twizzle, but you know, the block contrast of colors in their outfits doesn't prevent you from appreciating the synonymity of their free leg placement. This is the choreographic slide, just trying to tick all the boxes. Does it find the nuances in the music to push the grade of execution?
So every one of their elements, there are 8 of them, were in the positive GOE. So that is a very good sign that the quality of the execution of the technical elements gets some points added to the base value. And then you know you're on the right track. That would be called a clean program.
And it's interesting because, as I keep mentioning these positive features for the judges, one of those is reference to the body line and carriage of both partners being stylish according to the rhythm that they've got. And so, to me, that was evident most in this team than any of the others. The body line and the carriage was stylish.
Was what?
Stylish, darling.
Okay. Ew, yeah, the accent. Yeah.
I feel when you're using the word carriage, you have to speak with a bit more
panache.
Panache, check you.
Yeah, well, I got a dictionary.
Sorry.
Let's take a look at the scores. There it is for Laurence and Earl Jesse, 87.34. That is first in the free dance. Competition score 140.77, and that puts them in the lead with 6 teams to come. Our next team represents Czechia. 20-year-old Diane Schneider and 19-year-old Jakým Novák, second junior Grand Prix season. They are Czechia's junior champions.
And Diane and Jakým, from a components perspective, as per the skating skills, were almost third in the rhythm dance. Technical score not so strong, so hoping that they can push closer to the podium as we see the second Pearl Harbor free dance of this event. Czechia's Diane Schneider and Joachim Novak. The team had explained to me that after making top 10 at Junior Worlds last season, they decided to take a more senior approach this season, and they've been intentionally more soft or elegant in the consideration of their free dance this year. Again, another example of seeing the design on their progress for Diane and Joachim alongside their coach. And it just, unfortunately, though, mistakes that were made will be costly. As I mentioned in the rhythm dance, it was their technical element score as the flower crowns are assigned to them.
And it's incredible, those crowns. We were seeing the lady who makes them in the stands making them.
At No Name Face, she's here, and much to the delight of the skaters supporting them, creating them on site. But Diana and Joachim, the rhythm dance tech score is what pulled them out of contention for a bronze medal. Again, mistakes on the tech score here will make it difficult to move upward. However, the material that they've got and the strength of the team does look exactly as they desire to be, looking senior.
Yeah, agreed. And looking senior isn't necessarily, you know, skating clean. It's all the aspects of the quality of your execution. So,
and choosing to do difficulty like that in between the first and second. But here you can see, and then Diane reacting on the third twizzle because, well, I can't say she's reacting, but they seem like a really good team energetically together, and she will have been affected by the mistake that he had. As we look at the dance spin, I wonder if we'll get to see that, the rotational lift. It was almost like the frustration they had and the mistakes they made earlier on manifested in frenetic energy, and it almost went into the Scary Mary fall at the end of the program, but they salvaged it.
And you wonder whether you get to see the rotational lift?
Do we indeed get to see it?
I'm pretty sure I push a button, but I don't know. We'll check it out in just a moment.
You can see, like there's glide, there's more flow, there's more pressure. You can just see that little shudder of the ankle as they press into each of their strokes. Oh, good on you, Mr. Martin. Look.
Yeah. Whoa, yeah. That was amazing. He saved it. He went back on his heels just a little bit, but that was very fast rotation speed.
Serious. Good save. Matej Novak and Katarina Duška have done a great job. Great teamwork. But you can see that sort of despondency. And that's now not based on scores. That's based on just not being able to replicate what they know that they're capable of. I believe this team could have medaled at this event.
I think they believe they can too. And that's why you can see the disappointment on their face.
Yeah.
But you know, it stings at the moment, but it's only a moment, and then you move forward.
I remember so vividly Gabriela Papadakis and Guillaume Cizeron at a Junior Grand Prix in Tallinn, Estonia being, I think Gabby was upset. She might be crying because they'd had a result that was not indicative of what they'd done and didn't stop them going on to become Olympic champions.
No, exactly. In fact, it's probably
catalyst.
To it. Yeah, catalyst, exactly. Let's take a look at the free dance scores for Diane and Joachim, 77.97. That is fourth in the free dance. Total competition score of 132.37. That'll put them, for the moment, into third place with 5 teams to come. Absolutely not on their radar. This is not something that they envisioned. It'll be something they will take back. They will study it. They will move forward, and they'll be better for it. They don't know that now. They don't feel that now. But undoubtedly, that's what will happen.
I hope they can hear us, and I hope everybody else is saying that to them now to help elevate the energy of the team.
There you go. And there's a look at the start order for the final group here, not only in ice dance, but in week number 2 on the ISU Junior Grand Prix. Now, Mark, do you have anything else to add? Say, fill air with whatever.
Anything that I want to pass intel on. I suppose what we can just talk about for those that are struggling to comprehend ice dance, I think, you know,
Are you going to do this like in the next 5 minutes? I mean,
yeah, how can you?
Yeah, okay. Well, let's see what you got here. Come on.
Well,
okay.
I know quite a few that really relish all of the intel that is available online to understand scoring in ice dance. So there are some people that just their brain spaces really connect with detail and you know, geeking out on the study of the words. I think that's not everybody shares that, and indeed many of those that are attracted to the sport are people that are right-brain creatives that enjoy, artistry and not, as interested in the technicalities and the communications and screeds of intel.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be concise and just trying to encourage people to look out for some specifics that will help the skaters to be more successful with regards to the grades of execution, as demonstrated here by Aneta. So we've mentioned already that the body line and the carriage being stylish will help. The concept.
Okay, I got a question. Sorry.
Yeah. Go.
Stylish. Define stylish.
Well,
because it is the style of the store, or is the music style? What?
Well, it's good that you give me that, because then it should be stylish according to the chosen rhythm.
Oh, okay, carry on.
So, what is stylish? Because obviously, different people would decorate their home or their fashion differently. The positive feature is how is it styled according to the rhythm. So I love to see beautiful leg lines of extreme extension and commitment to the length of the leg, but if that is delivered in a Bob Fosse style, or perhaps it has its place, and so that is what effectively the judges are trying to pinpoint. Are the elements smooth and or effortless? Now, whilst that's a little bit vague, because everybody's definition of how how smooth or how effortless, but this is the wording and the criteria that the judges have, and the biggie, the most valuable, is good quality. And when the judges are meant to be looking for good quality, it's correctness, cleanness, deepness, and sureness of their edges, their steps and their turns.
Okay, that's good. And I've been watching this for years, and I just go, I'd rather just enjoy this. I know the basics of skating, so you can see the skating skills, and you can see the emotional connection to the music, and it moves you or it touches you. You can see an obvious mistake as well. So I go, okay, I don't know that I need to go too far, me personally, too far down into that list, because I understand enough about it. I think most people, even the people who don't know so much about skating, can see the flow and the consistency and the emotional connection to the music. So they probably have a pretty good feel without knowing each definition.
Completely. And actually, I suppose to some extent, those that do, perhaps for their job as coaches, or perhaps if they're voluntary work as judges and officials, that know all of that information, in some ways it could ruin their appreciation, because their brain has been designed to view it through that lens.
Well, it's very interesting. When we trained technical specialists in the beginning, they couldn't see anything other than whenever they watch skating and they're not being a technical specialist, they would be the technical specialist. They couldn't just sit and enjoy the program. They say, oh, that was under rotated. Oh no, that position is they get caught up on the detail, because that was their job. And we destroyed their whole enjoyment of skating because they had to become a technical specialist.
So true. And interestingly, as I touched on in the rhythm dance, for me, looking back at some former performances, and I'll keep referencing it because it's fresh in my mind, but watching back Judy Bloomberg and Michael Siebert's 1980s free dance made me appreciate, it's so enjoyable to watch something, because I didn't have to look for level, didn't have to look for criteria. I just enjoyed quality movement perfectly assigned to the music.
And, maybe we're too worried about the detail. Listen, I trust the judges. I trust what people have written. I trust they have been trained. So let them go do their job. And I haven't really seen a result that I'm going, that's something's really wrong there, because then you get the report card and you find out what it was. So I'm good.
And I suppose the only debate would be when you've got people that don't know the sport and don't know that criteria. When it's something like the second Finnish team of Jukka and Juho Pirinen and Orahara and Pirinen, who have been renowned to be some of the most popular team for our fans that don't know the details.
Well, if they want to know the details, it's all on the ISU website. It is. And there's even on the e-learning.
Yes.
So you want to know all that details and be that skating geek, which you are, right? And I say that in a very positive way, of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm quite proud to be called it.
It's all there. Okay, we filled the last warm-up of week number 2.
And with all that criteria and detail and rules and regulations, it's now just time to take note of a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old out there celebrating their love for skating. And what is so amazing about what Lilia Letenko and Alexander Rezhenkov have done is that they have found themselves in the top flight after the rhythm dance after only 6 months of partnership, using Scheherazade, incredibly popular piece in our sport by Rimsky-Korsakov. Israel's Lilia Latenko and Alexander Ryzhenkov complete their first Junior Grand Prix assignment together. It's so impressive what they have done in the short space of time that they've had, and a lot to be admired. Just unfortunate to have had on the second of the elements that fall. They were just too close, and a team that's got, you know, relatively little experience of time together, when the extra adrenaline is coursing through their bodies, that's when things will be different to practice, and they don't have as much experience in knowing how to cope with it yet, hence the fall, I suspect.
And that was a perfect example of the danger of ice dancing because it's so amazing how close they skate throughout.
And you can see from the movement there on that back outside edge, they've got quality and body control, you know, right forward outside. And it was actually just his push. He was close, and then the extension of his right leg. Just unfortunately, it was nobody's fault in that instance.
No.
It wasn't a right or wrong. It was just a whoopsie. As we see them work through the rotational lift, and you know, just the way in which the extension of the legs is held, showcasing the individual quality of movement. And I particularly appreciated Alexander's line and refinement. And this team, you know, they'll train with the likes of Shira Ishilov and Mikhail Nosovitsky in their training environment, so they've got others that I'm sure have helped to motivate them to the speedy progress they've made. And they did get themselves ready in time for Lake Placid at the beginning of the month, so this is actually their second event together. There are their choreographic assisted jumps, the final element. There, Galice Morachi joining them. And you know, such as we talk often about the commitment from the coaches, as I mentioned in the rhythm dance, Galit not now on a technical panel in Slovenia on the Junior Grand Prix because of this team, the resolute, indisputable commitment. They're not thinking of themselves, thinking of supporting a next generation of ice dance team.
They would need 77.94 to get into the top three, at least at this stage, with 4 teams yet to skate. Probably with that fall, it's going to fall a little bit short of that. But it is close.
The fall and the twizzles, the unfortunate reality of that is the 1 point mandatory deduction for the fall, but of course it decimates the grade of execution for the element itself as well, so really pulling down what is a valuable element to the team. And they had a 77.81 when they competed in Lake Placid. They were hoping to add to that significantly. Again, another example of a team that the score variability that they have by the end of the season could be huge.
Well, let's take a look at the free dance score. And here it is. 76.28, that is 6th in the free dance, and that will be disappointing for sure, with a total competition score of 130.72, putting them for the moment into 4th place with 4 teams to come. Our next team represents France. Louise Goha-Boget and Danielle Grishin, 16 and 18 years old, 2nd Junior Grand Prix season. They are ranked 5th in the French national junior competition.
And Louise and Danielle find themselves 0.05 of a point off a medal position after the rhythm dance, looking to close in on their first Junior Grand Prix medal as they skate to Bonnie and Clyde.
This is the story of Bonnie and Clyde.
Bye, baby.
See you soon, sugar. Thanks to you, Bonnie, babe, I can make plans again, and this world will remember me. Keep your hands in the air. Finger off the trigger, son.
Every place that we go, folks will turn their heads the way they want to
France's Louise Kohlhaas-Boucher and Danielle Griechen making a stake for a medal in the Junior Grand Prix, and the depth of knee and ankle, everything that we constantly reference for what will constitute more scores, indisputably stronger than any of the teams that we have seen thus far, and also a team looking more assured and comfortable with one another comparative to some of these newer teams that have had mistakes in the context of the event. Bonnie and Clyde, done by Isabelle Delabelle and Olivier Schomfelder so brilliantly. Another French team who were former world champions, as we look back at the difficult entry into their twizzles. And then the left back, I said, just wish there was an extension of the free foot there from Louise, but that's nitpicking. As we see here, Flo and Clyde, look at the amount of coverage and also the depth and clarity of the edges here comparative to others. Right outside rocker there for Daniel, finishing with his twizzle. Difficult entry is a feature. And changing pose and then into their rotational lift. This just coming in as a straight line lift level 3, then rotational lift level 4 currently. So that will be reviewed as to them trying to get the maximum 4 and 4. As you see, dance spin, and again looking for some of those features. So much of the positive features are dependent upon the musicality of the element. And again, as we touched on in warm-up, the style pertaining to Bonnie and Clyde. So how would Bonnie and Clyde do a choreographic spinning movement?
With a gun?
Question.
I'm not sure.
Indeed. And they training with the lead team, Dania and Theo. So they know what is necessary. Based on them sharing the ice with the same coaches, they know what's necessary for top 5 in the World Juniors, and so they've got an easy reference point for what they must do moving forward.
And there's the technical panel going through the elements. There were 4 reviews. They're on element number 4 at the moment. The straight line, the combination lift, they're taking a look at that. And they have one more to do, the dance spin, currently in at level 3. They have this, the straight line lift in at level 3 and the rotational at 4, so that is currently under review. And that lift right now, that one element has 12.07 points attached to it, so maybe that's going to go up or down. We'll have to find out.
Yes, and generally, a combination lift will be the most valuable of the lifts, of the elements for the teams, but also step sequences. The step sequences, the value of the step sequences and the twizzles, and the 1 foot indeed.
Stays at a 3 and 4, so they've confirmed. Oh no, it's gone down to 3 and 3. So it's from 12, it's gone down to 11.32. On review, had made a change from the replay.
Maybe not being given the difficult entry, which would affect both elements, but so as I was saying, the twizzles and the steps and the 1 foot turns, the value is given by assigning a level to each partner and then a grade of execution for the 2 together, each having responsibility in creating their score.
Here are the scores for the free dance: 83.91. That is second in the free dance. Total competition score of 139.77. That puts Louise and Danielle currently to second place with 3 teams to come. Probably not enough to make the podium, but you never know. It can happen. Our next team represents Germany. 17-year-old twins, Aniko and Zorad Kabar. This is their second Junior Grand Prix season. They were 21st at the Junior Worlds last year. Third after the rhythm dance. So they are skating for a medal.
Trying to showcase stark contrast to the rhythm dances. They skate to Churchyard and Soft Universe.
He told me I belong in a churchyard. He told me I could walk away, but I wouldn't get far. Words pointy like arrows, wounds no one can see. He closed all the windows as his anger broke free. I will not remember you as somebody nice. Please, will you remember me and cry? He told me I belong in churchyard. He told me I could walk away, but I wouldn't get far. Tell me how do people know what is right, what is love? He told me I belong in a churchyard. Eyes blue and hollow as it rains against their will. Feathers falling out of the pillow as if time is standing still. I can't remember much more, but I know it happened quiet, so quiet. Words falling out through the window. Love is Speak to me, speak to me. Make for me,
Twins Eniko and Zar Kabar looking elated and joyful, and I'm sure that they were ecstatic to find themselves in the bronze medal winning position after the rhythm dance, having finished in 9th place last year in Varese. There's a big jump up for the team as the German flag is waved in support of them, and I think perhaps the reaction to the conclusion of the performance from Eniko, based on the pressure they may have applied to themselves in trying to maintain that bronze medal winning position.
Yeah, well, skating as clean as they possibly can, knowing that they didn't make a mistake in leaving points off. So now we have to see the comparison, if you will.
And the intention for this free dance was to showcase free freedom, intensity, and expressiveness, as opposed to the refinement that was the muse for the rhythm dance. As we look at good unison, judges look for unison and oneness through the twizzles. That was a very good example of that. Nice, difficult entry. Good ice coverage. Flow speed being maintained through the rotational. Yeah, the curve left and the 1 foot dismount. And their choreographic elements back to back. First the choreo slide and then the choreo character step, when their expressiveness was as evident as most evident, one should say. Stefano Caruso and a little teddy bear joins them. It's a nice replacement of your handkerchief.
Yeah, exactly.
So for Eniko and Zohar to maintain their bronze medal winning position, they need 84.87. Now last year in Italy they had a 76.93, so that would be a big enhancement.
And it's interesting, Nico looks, I don't say worried, I don't know, he's wondering.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's stressed a little bit about this.
Well, that's exciting to consider what may change on the faces of the skaters in the kissing crown now when they find out what's to come.
Yeah.
17-year-olds born on the 26th of November. Only imagine that parents' pride in watching them. Imagine that doubled stress.
Yeah,
your twins that are out there.
Yeah. And pride. Stress and pride. Here we go. What will it be? The free dance scores 86.42. That is second in the free dance. And an overall score of 142.33. There you go. They got the bronze. They didn't know, and they doubted that when they saw that number 2. It is close, but they did it. They have a junior Grand Prix, at least bronze medal. 2 teams to come. Here is our next team, representing the United States of America, Aneta Baknikova and William Lassauer. 16 and 19 years of age. This is their first Junior Grand Prix event.
And Aneta and William garnered lots of excitement and discussion when they were seen at Lake Placid. They were second there, skating now to Moonlight Sonata. Americans Aneta Vaklavikova and William Lissar. Great to see this team finally getting to compete internationally. They've been together for over a year, but waiting for the release to be able to represent as their... I think that... Oh no, they've dropped the flower crown. Did they know that they've dropped it? Anyway.
Go out there and tell them to keep it. They have the flower girls, flower skaters.
And so interesting just to consider what the muse is as they skate to the Moonlight Sonata. It's a piece of music not known to have an origin of concept or story, but as I said to you, my understanding is that Beethoven created this piece falling in love with one of his students and then finding out that he was permanently losing his hearing. So a lot of emotion and depth to it, and that showcased here. But there was a bit of a joy from Aneta, maybe a different take in terms of the expression and theme behind this for the couple. You can see that there's a kind of ethereal openness to her movement, and just has an amazing range of movement. Aneta has such flexibility, able to go way beyond oversplit in some of the extensions that she takes. As we look back through the twizzles, maybe not the flow that we've seen from others. Just making sure that it's not spinning and staying stationary for William. And continuing to travel across the ice to facilitate the call. And then here, some simple strokes. Delicacy of toe steps delivered well. As we see their choreographic lift. And again, opportunity to showcase and exploit that range of movement that Aneta has. As we see the attention to detail right through to the fingertips. So,
lovely.
An increasingly familiar sight in the Kiss and Cry is that of Melissa Gregory, her husband Denis Petchikov, cheating at home, sure, but this powerhouse couple really producing so many students.
96.31, you can see they are thrilled with that score. That is the first place in the free dance with the total competition score 159.04. One team to come. And this team is currently in the gold medal position, but the next team might have something to say about that. They have the silver for sure. Our next team, 16-year-old Danya Moadan, 17-year-old Theo Bijot for France.
Heavy, heavy favorites. Skating to Georges Bizet's Carmen. A supremely strong skate from Daniel Moine and Théo Bijot, the French team that were fifth at the World Junior Championships. And I think what will be significant for Daniel and Théo is not just winning this competition, but the scores that they post, because they, of course, will be looking to push towards a World Junior Championship podium. And indeed be the top French team, because we have another, so many incredibly strong French junior teams. And for me, this, an improvement for Daniel and Théo in a team that has been together for many, many seasons. It's a bold choice to use music such as Carmen that has been the soundtrack to Olympic gold and silver medalists in the dance discipline. They gave it the passion that it requires. As we look back at the stationary lift, that's just been given a level 3, so he definitely on one foot, clearly for the required time. Maybe not a difficult exit, we'll see. It's being reviewed now and it's gone in as just a 3. This was a wonderfully difficult entry. Clockwise rotating loop jump entry. So impressive.
And the opposite direction to their strong one. I mean, it was incredible entry into that set of twizzles.
And actually, when we're discussing about the transition from free skating to dance, I do believe that Daniel and Théo are ice dancers through and through. They've been together for such a long time, and they started this partnership with their coach Barbara Piton at such a young age that I think it is very much a ice dancers from the start. Oh, Barbara needs to do her. Oh, yeah.
In trouble. That was a great program. Skating last, lead after the rhythm dance. Pressure was on, but boy, did they ever deliver. Innovative moves, dynamic skating, 98.16, and they're going, oh my gosh, look at that score. Of course, it's first. For the 162.57, they are completely out of their mind, thrilled with this result and with this score. Wow. All the hard work over the years is beginning to really pay off.
They just stood up. We wanted to see it.
Yeah, no, absolutely spectacular. That is very special indeed. As we take a look at the final results, Dania and Théo, Annetta William, Nico and Zorad, the top 3, France, United States, and Germany.
And actually, all 3 of the top teams were equally elated with their scores and the results that they've achieved.
Absolutely. So we're going to stay online for the medal presentation. We will sign off in just a second. I do want to thank all the volunteers here in Riga for their hard work. There's so many people behind the scenes, all the staff of the ISU, of course, the officials who travel a long ways away, take time from their families and time away from work and time away from school or whatever to officiate these competitions. We thank them. And of course the coaches who not only coach the skaters, but they help these young people as they're growing up in life as well. It's a skating community. There's nothing quite like the Junior Grand Prix circuit. As you grow up from 13 to 17, skate and learn from people from around the world and compete for either your personal best or a medal. So it is a fantastic environment. We thank everyone for supporting that. We're going to take a break, or we're going to actually sign off, because we will start our move towards Bangkok. You will go home and work in your studio. I will fly to Bangkok. We'll be online to cover that. There will be no pairs next week. There'll be men, women, and dance. Any final comments, Mark?
No, continuing just what you've said, Ted. Thank you to all those that are involved, and to those that have never had the privilege of being at an ISU event. Trust us, there is more than an army, a village of people behind the scenes, to which we're very grateful.
Absolutely. And for our production crew here, who do an amazing job, you never see them, but they're all, oh, they're blowing us kisses. Oh. That's pretty emotional stuff.
And that's only week 2. What are they going to be like week 7?
I don't know. We got to keep our distance. But just an incredible crew. All Italian. I think they're all Italian except for us. We're British, you know. They're clapping there. Great guys. Anyways, we will be moving on to Bangkok. Stay online for the medal presentation for all of us here at the ISU. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
Slighted and I don't know how to make ISU Figure Skating Junior Grand Prix Riga 2026 Victory Ceremony Junior Ice Dance. Third, and winners of the bronze medal from Germany, Eniko Kobor and Zort Kobor. Second, and winners of the silver medal from the United States of America, Aneta Vaklavikova and William Lissauer. First, and winners of the gold medal from France, Dania Moaden and Theo Bigot. Please welcome the Vice President of the Latvian Skating Association, Mr. Aivars Zeltiņš. He will award the medals. Please welcome the Secretary General of Latvian Skating Federation and Head of Organizing Committee, Ms. Anna Belevica. She will award the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the winner. gentlemen, these are your medalists.
Down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air. Tongue it in the wind, listen to the thunder rolling over and over. We down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air. Tongue it in the wind, listen to the thunder rolling over and over. We down, we're getting on fire, we're raising them higher. The bottle is up, we're over the top, it's time to get wild. The time of a life, it's happening now. We're out of control, together we're rolling over and over. We down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air. Tongue it in the wind, listen to the thunder rolling over and over. We down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air.
ISU Figure Skating Junior Grand Prix Riga 2026 Victory Ceremony Junior Men. Third and winner of the bronze medal from Switzerland, Ian Whaler. Second and the winner of the silver medal from Republic of Korea, Yakeon Lee. First and the winner of the gold medal from Republic of Korea, Habin Choi. Welcome the President of the Latvian Skating Association, Mr. Uldis Showers. He will award the medals. Please welcome the member of organizing committee, Miss Lilia Roškalne. She will award the flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able for the national anthem of the winner. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your medalists.
Down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air. Sung it in the wind and sang to the thunder, rolling over and over. We down the river we drunk and all of our thumbs went up in the air. Sung it in the wind and sang to the thunder, rolling over and over. We down. We're getting on fire. We're raising them higher.